activities along the water, if not inside along the water course that are actually causing the contamination.
All right, this is Still Top Story brought to you by Telecel Connecting Energies and also by Shield Pension Trust. Into the future with you. Now, let's get onto the phone lines now and bringing Na Ayele Adafio Setre, who's in charge of PR and campaign at the TUC. Now, I'm grateful to you for joining us here on Top Story. Now, I mean, why the need to start now? And how can we even trust TUC to follow through with their words or their warnings to government when last year, when all Ghanaians kept their faith on organized labor, we were let down 11th hour?
I'm glad you mentioned organized labor. And organized labor is not just a TUC, but other associations, other unions. This time it's TUC that has gone into the field, back into the field. And I think that the more we don't do much, the more we destroy our own selves as if we are in a war with ourselves. So TUC has gone out there and we said, enough of the talk. Let's take some decisive actions that will change the state of school.
What defines your decisive action?
Well, a lot of organizations, individuals have called for particular things to be done. What are these things? They've called for state of emergency to be imposed on these specific areas. We've also heard of security, declaring some of these zones security zones, so that if there is anybody who is caught venturing into any of these streets or plying these streets in these areas, should be dealt with. And we also have heard that there are kingpins who are behind the scenes. I mean, successive governments don't seem to want to do anything. They don't want to do much. They want to talk all the time. So enough of the talk. I mean, we think that if some decisive action of, for instance, declaring security zones, these areas are security zones, yes. But then if we had just one or two of these areas have declared as, state of emergency declared on these areas, perhaps it would help us, to make a way forward or a better way forward, so to speak. So we need some decisive actions, and that's what the TUC is calling for.
The president says NIMOS has been empowered to deal ruthlessly with people who are operating in these security zones. He says it will be difficult to declare state of emergency now because they've not exhausted all the available powers that they have. Isn't what NIMOS doing enough?
Well, I think we all need to do the assessment to see whether NIMOS is effective enough on the ground. All of us need to take that assessment as Ghanaians. If we think what NIMOS is doing is good enough and 22,000, over 45,000 turbidity, that is being told us is what we want to live with as Ghanaians. It's up to us.
Mm. I mean, don't they deserve some time?
Well, let's all decide that as Ghanaians. If we want to, give them the forever years for them to do their work. Okay, it's up to us.
But why not go in the organized labor umbrella, because that will carry more weight? Or you don't?
Well, TUC is not just one entity or national union.
That's true.
There are 24 national unions in the TUC, all very autonomous with their own constitutions. And TUC, as a democratic organization, will sit at the table. It was the steering committee that went out there today. If there is need to have organized labor join in, why not? we're all Ghanaians and we're all workers and we're all fighting in the interest and the welfare of workers. So TUC has gone in there for now. It thought it had to do this. And at the stage where, I mean, there is the need to bring others on board, I mean, other national unions, associations, I believe if the TUC gets there, it would cross that bridge.
And you can count on our support as well, because we want this done to ensure that we save the environment. But do stay with me. Let me bring in Kofi J, because he is our reporter with Adom FM, but he was with the TUC team that visited some site today. Kofi, let's begin from the conversation you had with illegal miners who made some startling revelations about how much they pay to go into a concession. What did they tell you?
According to them, there's a man in the community or in the area, Anuma Papa Enclave, who is called Robert. The name that they give us the name Robert. He's the one in charge of concession around River Yesu and its environs. So he charged them 70,000 before they can move into the site to work. And every week too, the man demands a lot of gold from them.
Wow.
So every miner will pay 70,000 before he can allow them to use the excavator and enter the forest or into River Yesu. So that's what they've been charged.
And this person is related to who?
They couldn't give that information because, you see, they were afraid, because that's their only source of job or business over there. So if they give us the identity of that man, they think that it's going to affect their business, it's going to affect them. And this miners somehow they are dangerous. So they were a bit
hesitant. Let's get this clear. Did they say he takes the 70,000 to allow them to go into a concession or to mine on a water body?
Yeah, according to them, he said he's the area King Kong, area commando. So before you can enter River Ayensu or the forest, everywhere you need to see him, and you have to pay 70,000 to that Robert.
And this Robert lives in which area again?
It's residing at Anuma Pepem, Buaho, and its environs, where the River Ayensu flow from.
And for how long has he been doing this?
Oh, I think for the past, since January, according to them, since January, he has been taking 70,000 from them before you can allow you to mine. So, and according to Ghana Water Company, they started experience bad water from, I think, from July coming. So I think the exercise started maybe from January, February coming.
And how many gangs are working in this area that he takes the 70,000 from?
You count. They are even mining the community. When I went, Anuma Papem, some of them are even mining in the community. Some houses have even destroyed, and they are mining just close to a building, just close to a house, just close to the community center. And they are mining inside the River Yesu.
And all of
diverted the river and mining inside.
Wow. And all of these gangs pay 70,000 to this man and give him 7 pounds of gold each every week.
Every week. Before he can allow you to mine in there, else he will come after you.
They haven't reported him to the police?
They've reported, but you see, I don't know how the man is powerful, but maybe he's connected to some big men. That's the reason why maybe he has that power to take that money from them.
Wow. You also spoke with the DC for Ayen Swano, Joshua Frederick Latte, on government's intervention.
He spoke to him, and he was saying that he needs everybody on board, because looking at his posture and body language, it shows clear that the man needs support. So he even appealed to the government and the president to provide him external force, like external men, maybe heavy military officers, so that he can combat them. Because according to information that indicated, those people around Ebuoho, Numa Pepem Ebuoho, where the activities is going on, they are heavily they have a lot of weapons. over there. So the DC himself, even sometimes, I think he is afraid to enter those areas.
Okay.
So he is saying that he needs the government to help him with military officers, heavy equipment, so that they can fly them out.
What about the chiefs? And I know that you spoke to them. What was their reaction?
Yeah, I spoke to the chief linguist of Noah Pepem, and he said that at first they were depending on the River Yensu for all farming activities. You see, that place is a cocoa growing area, so they need water during spraying, mass spraying, and other stuff. But nowadays, they are using sachet water for mass spraying, cocoa mass spraying, because they cannot depend on the River Yensu again because it has been polluted. And they are not happy, but because that Mr. Robert is heavy, everybody is afraid to talk about him.
The Robert guy is
yes,
heavy
he's very
in
powerful,
the area.
so everybody is afraid. They themselves, they are not happy with the activities ongoing or the activities going on there, but they are afraid that Mr. Robert.
I'm grateful to you, Kofi, for these details that you've shared with us here. Now let me come back to you. So, having listened to this, and you've been to the site, you've seen it firsthand. For you, we understand that you are yet to meet to really determine what you'll be expecting of government. But what will be the biggest disappointment for you after we meet? And can you let us in on what could be the possible roadmap that your meeting will declare and will be asking of government?
You see, Kojo, we are a labor union, we're a pressure organization. And for us, we had to ascertain and assess for ourselves what was going on the ground. I am so disappointed in successive governments. I am so disappointed. Because I thought that much more action should have been taken before now. I mean, when we went to the Durham water treatment plant in Chibi, the plant has been shut down, and they had just started treating the water again at Kwenyako. Even then, we were told that it is the new pipe, one pipeline that is going to serve the community. I don't know whether there are other communities added to this particular community, but just one, rather than the three that they used to have. So, yes, the TUC is going to meet at the third higher structure, which is the steering committee, together with the executive committee. But for me, I would be so disappointed if this particular government, after having made us believe that it was going to take decisive actions, let things just go. I will be very disappointed. And I think that as a roadmap, every Ghanaian, now even people who live in the community, like your colleague just told you, they are human beings who are supposed to be faceless. But hey, make no mistakes, they are faced people. You can identify these individuals. And everybody is afraid to talk. Why? Because these are people who will come after you. But then they're killing us anyway. I'm afraid to go to the market and buy consumery because I don't know where it comes from. So really, we're dying slowly. And by the way, the international people, we just came away from sector skills bodies meeting, and I happen to be representing the TUC on the tourism and hospitality SSV. Believe me, the tourists don't want to have anything to do with our food. They import the foods. Those who are working in the hotel industry import the tomatoes. They import all the other vegetable products to cook for us. So look, we're just killing ourselves. It doesn't make sense for me to go the way we're going. People who need to be pitched out and punished, we must. Otherwise, then they're just killing us.
Is there a possibility?
And for me, it doesn't make sense.
Is there a possibility of a strike?
Well, you can believe Labour to take action when it's not seeing its way clear. We have been down this road before, and we're going to move steadily, and the leadership of the TUC is going to take its decisions, and that would obviously be communicated.
When is this meeting expected again?
Normally, we have emergency meetings, we have other structural meetings. So when that meeting is called, we would definitely announce. I am not able to tell at this time when that meeting will be called.
Okay. Let me bring in Pakwesi Shandoff now. He is a communications person at the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources. Pakwesi, you heard our reporter there. There is someone who from January has been collecting 70,000 cedis from each, gang for them to mine in the Ayensuano area and also going to the Ayensu River. What is NIMOS doing? Don't you have this intel?
I think there's, I don't know, but when it comes to the conversation around illegal mining, I don't know, but I want to be very honest about this. We should not just be isolating the negativities and amplifying them. NIMOS throughout the entirety of the week has done so much beautiful work, so much commendable effort has been seen throughout the week. Then there is a development. It is reported, of course, Kofi Eje, we cannot confirm whether his assertions are true or not. Nobody can confirm. I'm not saying they are false, but let us assume without admitting that they are.
Is the River Yensu terrible now, or it is not?
It appears we want to use that to comprehensively characterize the entirety.
Well, Pakwesi, if you look at the environment we live in, people's fear to eat vegetables, people's fear to use water running through our taps, you can't fault anyone to rather go again talk about the ills we are seeing. So let us understand whether or not you are aware of this development in those communities and what government is doing. The DC for Yenswano is calling on government to help him.
Just this morning, I had a conversation with you on the Joy News channel where we expressed, where we went into the details of all the operations that NIMOS has actually embarked on so far. Last week, Friday, by this time, the president had given a remarkable speech. The sector minister had also done a presentation.
Did you hear that? You see, they say enough of the talk. It's not a remarkable speech that we're talking about. They are calling for actions, things that would help them believe again that they can eat their contumely.
And from a place of deep concern, why do we sometimes appear as though we really honestly think that illegal mining and the ravages thereof can end within the period that the new government has been in place? That is an impossibility. So when we are having the conversation, as much as yes, the president has said that, yes, the criticisms are welcome and all of that, I think we must also assign some level of balance to it. Otherwise, nobody can make any meaningful progress. There is the National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat. The Secretariat has been doing so much as of now.
Well, Pakwesi, I get your point. You want people to praise the work NIMOS is doing, but I'm saying that in reality, when people cannot have water, common water to drink through their taps, you don't expect them to applaud NIMOS until they see clean and very, conducive, for lack of a better word, water that they can use in their home. So you can't fault them.
SKB, I think you are getting me wrong. I'm not saying we want anybody to praise NIMOS. Nobody's calling for praises and applause. The point I am making is that in the conversation around illegal mining, there ought to be a balance between where we have come from and where we are now, and of course, what NIMOS has done so far. Nobody is saying NIMOS should.
But of course, Pakwesi, you also do understand.
Nobody's saying that.
You also do understand that what NIMOS has done, we've reported. You even said that I spoke to you in the morning, so we have balanced it. Not so.
No, the point I'm making. No, the point I'm making from following the trend of this particular conversation, it appears that there is a certain projection of the ills over the good works that NIMOS has done. But maybe I should just go ahead and then comment on Kofi Eje's report. So, if indeed it is true that there are individuals in certain communities who are, as we speak, fronting it, and they have become the kingpins, I stated in the morning that there is a strategy for capturing all of those kingpins. Now,
so for you, what specific balance do you want really? Let me understand.
What specific what
balance do you want?
No, I'm saying we should move away from that because the duration for the conversation is almost over. We have 3 more minutes to
Move away from what, Pakwesi?
you dedicated it to the articulation of the ills and what has been the case, the discolored water bodies. I think we already know of these things. These things didn't happen within necessarily the last 10 months.
But have you been going through the data when turbidity levels have increased more than thrice within the short space of time? That's what people are asking for. That look, the thing keeps worsening.
Kojo Brace, you see, this is the unfairness I'm talking about. Right now, we have just about perhaps 2 minutes to end the conversation. If you really want a thorough presentation on what 9 months and
Okay. I'm grateful to you, Pakwesi. Looks like the time I've given you. This has been Top Story brought to you by Telecel Connecting Energies and also by Shield Pension Trust into the future with you. Now, Yele Adefio Setre, I'm grateful to you. She is in charge of PR and campaign at TUC. Kofi Eje is our reporter with Adum FM. Pakwesi Shandov is PR at the Lands and Natural Resources Ministry. Thanks. Up next is Ghana Connect.